Welcome back to the fourth episode of a nostalgia playthrough of Close Combat 3, the Russian front, and well, we are going into the second operation this time, and if you see the map here, we are now in winter time, which can cause a few issues, mainly to our tanks. The Panzer 3HC, or the Panzer 3H here, as you can see, some of these units have this the star right next to them, meaning they are equipped for winter combat. The Panzer IVs are not, and they could just, if you're unlucky, have their engine being frozen at the start of the battle and be unable to move completely. I can see that unfortunately we can't get any more Panzer IVs at the moment, and I really was hoping we would be able to. Maybe we should dabble with a Stug. Because we do need these 75mm guns to be able to take on some of the enemy tanks that we might run into in this operation. If they have KV-1s, the Panzer 3H can technically take them on, but more often than not I find it that the crews will just simply refuse to even attempt firing at them. At least if you have in the realism settings, you activate always obey orders. The Panzer 3 will shoot at the KV-1 and will do damage, although not with every shot necessarily. They need to, place the shot correctly. They are capable of inflicting some damage to them, but if you don't have always obey orders on, there's a good chance they just will simply flat out refuse to even open fire at the back end of the tank, saying that they can't hurt it instead. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. If we can get another 13 requisition points, however, then we can get a Stug. What would I do to get 13 requisition points? Well, I'll have exactly 13 if I retire these two infantry squads here. And I think I probably just will. It's wasteful. It wastes 50% of the prestige that we put into them. But at least that prestige is now kind of carried over, although only 50% of it from the previous operation. And we're gonna get ourselves this Stug. I really think that is the way to go. That can just be called what it already is called, actually. So yeah, I mean the Stug, it doesn't have a machine gun or anything. It simply has only this gun. So yeah, it shouldn't really go too much on its own against infantry strong points and such, or get too close to infantry, as it can easily get overrun without really any proper means of defending itself. So it could go good with some machine gun team close by, or at least a machine gun team further behind it, able to support its advance. Or you could move it in with other tanks, and then it shouldn't be a problem. The Stug 3 is more resilient to anti-tank fire than the Panzer 4 and the Panzer 3 will be, simply because of its lower silhouette. It's basically a Panzer 3 hull without the turret. The gun is mounted inside the hull rather than inside the turret on top. So it's a harder target to hit. It's a lower silhouette target and more survivable, but also far less versatile. Now, that being said, let's just get to it, huh? So here we are. We need to probably push on this strong point here first, but also strong points over here as well. There's a lot of trenches around, and typically the enemy will set up in the structures here, the bombed out little village. There will typically be some units, for whatever reason. It's not necessarily a good place to have any units, but the enemy, or the AI, seem to like to place units there. Now we need to watch out for tanks on this one, because now finally the Russians, well, they could have had on the previous mission as well, but typically here we will start seeing some tanks or anti-tank guns. Or well, at least this is a point in the game where it is likely to be seeing these things. So yeah, let's just be a little bit careful, but we're gonna just overrun this position here with our tanks and hope that works out. Yeah, we're not seeing any enemies yet, so we just move the Panzer III and the Panzer IV up there. I should have positioned them a little bit differently, but they will sort it out, I hope. So I want these two guys on the ridges here, and the Stug 3 a little bit further up back here. There's maybe like a support guy. Oh, we are seeing enemy tank. There's a T-34. And the Panzer III refuses to fire, even at the sidearm of the T-34. Okay, we've taken out 3 out of 4 crew members on that T-34. Now it's going to be very ineffective. There's some rifle fire going on. We have a anti-tank team attack on the Panzer IV. It looks like they abandoned the T-34. But there you can see, even against a T-34... okay, the shots are coming from over there, actually. That's quite the distance. Yeah, that's... what exactly is that? We need to push up and deal with it, I think. Just leave the Stug over here. I'll switch the MG team over to the fence if there's any, or the MG teams, I should say. If there's anything in these trenches there, then they will be able to support the Stug if it starts getting overrun. Okay, we're taking out, this looks like an anti-tank rifle team. There is certainly more infantry down here. And this was an anti-tank infantry. We're seeing something over here. There's another anti-tank infantry team in the forest. So we'll shift fire of the Panzer III over on that. Yes, it is important to get them out before we get out this weak infantry here. I don't even know if I finished my sentence there, but as you can see, even the T-34, the Panzer III will not be shooting against for some reason. And given the fact that the T-34 is pretty much like the mainstay Russian tank, it is a bit unfortunate that he won't even open fire at it, I would say. Okay, we'll leave this Panzer III here for now and just kind of drive the Stug over to this trench line. Oh, no, we don't have to do that. Okay, this worked out pretty well for us. We captured an enemy T-34. So both the 2 tanks that we've run into so far, we have actually captured from the enemy. We killed 7, wounded 10, and took no prisoners. So, we look at the soldier screen. How are our soldiers doing? We're starting to get a few medals on them. The command team got the Iron Cross 2nd class this time around. They're the only ones that actually have any medals. Alright. Well, got some increase in experience and morale and all that good stuff across the board here. So it's all good, and as you can see the history of these men here. Now they have the previous operation under the belt, so yeah, as they survive through, they will get more of these participation awards, or whatever you want to call them. Yeah, the Panzer III has killed 20 soldiers so far, the Panzer IV 19. And yeah, that's the only ones that actually have been killing anything. The Stug has killed 1 soldier, so a total of 40 soldiers killed so far between them. I don't think the infantry's, well, I know the infantry's not killed anything yet. But that being said, thank you for watching the episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I would appreciate if you would leave a like on it, and maybe even subscribe if you want to see some more of my content in the future. That being said though, you can catch me in the next one, and have a good one.